We're going from 0 to 60 with Hunchback of Notre Dame. So let's get cracking! Hello all my explorers, and welcome back to Loren's Adventures Out There. And if you are new, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. My name is Loren, and I'm with Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. We do unboxings and hauls, pins, box swaps, Disney news, Disney reviews, and more. So if that sounds fun to you, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post as it helps us out. So we're continuing our series from 0 to 60, in which we look at the films of the Walt Disney Animation Studios in chronological order. We started off with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and we are finishing with Encanto, the 60th film. And today we are talking about 1996's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is based on a famous novel by Victor Hugo. It is about a deformed bellsman named Quasimodo who has to go against his father, who is trying to destroy the gypsies, to save Esmeralda, who is a gypsy herself. And he teams up with Phoebus and to keep her safe. And that is what the movie is basically about. And the how this all started actually was that Gary Trousdale and Kirk Wise, who had worked on Beauty and the Beast, they were developing an adaptation of the Greek mythological story Orpheus and Eurydice, but told with humpback whales, actually. And then Gary Trousdale got a call from Jeffrey Katzenberg, which basically said, drop everything that you're doing. You're going to be working on Hunchback of Notre Dame. To date, this is probably one of Disney's most complex film for a family film. It has a lot of very adult themes, such as sexual repression and infanticide, and just very dark themes. And that's basically what Hunchback of Notre Dame is about. Now, Frollo in the story actually was an archdeacon, and despite the fact that, from what I understand, this is the only Disney film based on a specific religion, Catholicism, and so the fact that they have that, the fact that they use the words God and Lord and things like that more than any other Disney movie, the Disney executives did not want Frollo to be a archdeacon. Like, they felt that that was a little bit too much, and they turned him into a judge. I mean, there's a lot of creative liberties that they took, not so much as like Pocahontas, but this was probably the biggest liberty that they took by making him a judge instead. It still doesn't change his character at all, though. So this is something new that I learned. Believe it or not, the first person that was cast for this film, get ready for it, Cyndi Lauper. Yes, my bae, I love Cyndi Lauper. They thought that she was like funny and sweet. She thought that she was going to be cast as Esmeralda, but they wanted her as a gargoyle. The gargoyle went through many names. Originally they were named Chaney, Lawton, and Quinn, after the actors who had played Quasimodo previously in films. But because Disney thought that there would be too much legal implications, they decided to change the names, and they went with Victor, Hugo, and ultimately Laverne after the third Andrews sister, Laverne Andrews. Um, but then, as they developed the story, unfortunately, the character of Laverne started becoming a more older and wiser character, and at that point, Cyndi Lauper didn't fit. And so Mary Wicks was brought in to play Laverne, and she actually ended up dying during the production. And they brought in Jane Withers to do the six remaining lines that were not recorded. Now, in the role of Quasimodo, get this who they wanted to originally play him. Meatloaf. Yes, Meatloaf. But they could not make a deal with his record company. Then they brought in Mandy Patinkin. But Mandy Patinkin's performance was not quite what the Disney was looking for. And so then he just said, I just can't do this, and left. And then the role went to Tom Hulce, who, to me, is the perfect Quasimodo. I think I love Tom Hulce in this role. He brings such a vulnerability to the character, and his singing style is just so wonderful. Out There is one of my favorite Disney songs for sure. Demi Moore was brought in as Esmeralda, although they wanted her to do the singing part, but she just couldn't do it, and she asked them to hire somebody else. And then for Phoebus, we had Kevin Kline. Brought back for the music was Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz, who had worked together on Pocahontas. And together they created one of the darkest scores of all time in a Disney film. I absolutely love the music to this film, um, and the fact that they use calumny and consternation, and there's a whole song about sexual repression, and it still ended up being a G-rated movie. Just, I mean, like incredible. I just think it's incredible. Box office wise, the film did very well successfully. It came in second that weekend. They had also adjusted their marketing campaign. They started selling tickets at the Disney store. And I remember them doing this like for the longest time. They would offer lithographs to people who bought tickets at the Disney store, and then eventually it became Blu-rays. But I remember a time when they would do this, um, and now we don't have Disney stores, sadly. But anyway, strangely enough, it actually was not as successful as Pocahontas, which was deemed a box office disappointment. And again, I think it was because they really wanted Pocahontas to be Beauty and the Beast. But that said, it Disney did see this as a success, and which was great. And it was nominated for original score at the Academy Awards and the Golden Globes, but unfortunately did not win. Um, critic Critic wise, it did fairly decently. Some people thought that the story was kind of middling, but at the same time, a lot of people praised the stories and the dark um, themes and things like that. And so, I think that it's done respectively well. I also think it's very underappreciated. I think this film is an underappreciated film. I love the Hunchback of Notre Dame for sure. Um, and yeah, I just really enjoyed watching it again. The music, everything. So, what did you think of the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Let me know in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And if you enjoyed this program, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post as it really does help us out. Visit us on all of our socials down below. Visit our website at www.castlescapesandclones.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Bye.